Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Hajo Reinders, and today I am here with my two lovely co-editors, Pia Sundqvist and Liz Kerstin Sylvan, and we are going to be talking to you a little bit today about our book project, which is Innovation in Language Learning and Teaching, the Case of the Nordics. Now, some of you may know that this is part of a broader series called New Language Learning and Teaching Environments, which has been going for 12, 13 years now. I think we've got 30, 35 books in the series. And some of those books specifically deal with innovation in a particular country or a particular region. So we've had books on Japan, China, Thailand, the Middle East, and now, best of all, of course, we have one on the Nordics. And we just want to tell you a little bit about it and maybe also invite you to contribute if you have something that you'd like to share with the world. So, Pia, starting with you, why do you think we need a book on innovation specifically in the Nordics?
Okay, I think we need that because a lot of work has happened up here in the north, but we want to know more about what's going on, innovation in both classrooms and outside of classrooms when it comes to learning, when it comes to teaching. We are interested in all sorts of target languages, not just English, also other target languages. Yeah.
Great. And as you mentioned, earlier when we were talking, obviously it's a region that is known to have a lot of innovative educational policies and companies and projects that come out of the region. It's also a number of countries that are relatively rich, which has allowed people in the region to work with technology quite innovatively. And I think we talked about also really explicitly wanting to invite contributions that talk about out-of-class learning, extramural learning, etc., because that is something that the region is kind of known for. So we are aiming to capture both in-class and out-of-class, and as you said, Pia, all the languages as well as all the school levels from early childhood all the way through to higher education. So all settings. Right. So those are some examples of the kinds of things that we want to include. Let's talk a little bit more. Maybe, Kerstin, you can say a little bit about what kinds of contributions are we looking for in terms of the content.
Okay, so we were looking for contributions that describe something that is innovative about language learning and or teaching. We really want the reader to be able to get new ideas from reading each chapter, something new that they can try out, either in teaching or learning.
Yeah. Can I add also that we want, theory and combined with practice? It needs to be possible to apply this somehow. That's very important to us in this volume.
Yeah, I think that's a key point, right? We're looking for contributions that are, of course, grounded in theory and make reference to existing literature and so on. But what we're most interested in is the application to practice. So what have you and your colleagues, what have you done in the real world, whether it's developing a tool, whether it's creating a test, whether it's implementing a new teaching method, whatever it is, what did you actually end up doing? And essentially the key question is, how did it go?
Yeah. So the implications are very important to report on.
Yeah, thank you. And that's also absolutely a key point. Like, we're interested in knowing, the all important so what question, like, why should the reader care? Why was this project done? Who was it for? Where did the project originate? What was the problem that you faced? Or maybe what was the opportunity that you saw? And I think from what all three of us been saying so far, it's quite clear that we're not just looking for necessarily language teachers and classrooms, but we're also looking for, perhaps if you're working in administration and you've developed a new way of capturing learner data, or maybe you're working in policy making and you've developed a new policy around AI in education, or maybe you own an educational technology company and you've developed a new app. we're really keen to hear, what was that transition like from an idea to the actual implementation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what are some examples, perhaps, of the types of contributions that perhaps we're not looking for that would be better suited maybe to a traditional academic journal rather than this collection?
So maybe just empirical research that just looks at, well, a regular research study, as it were, would perhaps be better suited in a journal than this
No.
one.
So I think we want authors or contributors who can view this volume as a very good venue to actually publish something that might not be published otherwise. This is like a great opportunity to write about, something maybe a bit different compared to what you would normally write as a researcher. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And also, I think we're happy to receive, as Pia said, manuscripts that are perhaps a little bit different in style or shape or form, maybe a little bit more creative. Also, if you have a project that perhaps, you don't feel you want to or need to write 7,000 words on, but maybe it's a smaller practical implementation of an idea. We're also happy to receive shorter contributions, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 words. We have an upper limit of 8,000, I believe.
Yes.
We'll put the link to the call for papers in the show notes, but I think it's 8,000. So if you want to write a full-length chapter, that's fine, but you don't have to.
No, it can be shorter also. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, in terms of the guidelines for submissions, first of all, what is our deadline?
Okay, so deadline for abstracts is February 28th.
Yeah, and that's just initially just an abstract. However, we do have some suggestions to help guide you to write that abstract in a way that matches the intentions for the book. Pia, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can say a few things. This is, of course, in the call, but we want you to tell us about the origin of this project and the rationale of it. What actors were involved, like stakeholders, that could be interesting. We want you definitely to write about the context or the setting of the study. We're interested in also project design and the methodology, if that's something that is applicable. And then, if relevant, also implementation, like a timeline, different phases of the project. The evaluation is very important. What is what's the impact of your work? So again, this, theory and practice, what does it mean? What's important? Could also be dissemination and policy, could be about sustainability and scalability of this. Also, very important would be lessons learned from this project and the challenges and recommendations that can help others. Yeah.
That's very helpful. So I'll ask you both in a moment to tell the viewers what you're hoping that the book will achieve. But before I do that, one thing to add to what Pia just said, I think to summarize all of that, one way of capturing it is to say that we're interested in the process more than the product. We're quite interested to hear about your journey of innovating. What were the challenges that you faced? How did you overcome those challenges? I mean, we're interested in the real life, messy stuff that happens when you think, oh, I've got a great idea. Let me develop it and implement it. And then, an administrator says, no, you can't do this, or the technology fails you or whatever. So we really want to hear about the process of innovating so that somebody who reads your chapter, who might not be specifically interested in the topic of your project, can still learn about from your experiences. So to summarize the conversation, or to conclude it rather, Pia Lechestin, what is your aspiration? What do you hope for the book will achieve?
We hope to get contributions that show how the Nordics really spearhead the world of language teaching and learning. We believe there is a lot out there that really should be shared with other countries. So we are hopeful to get good contributions. And as a matter of fact, we have already received some positive feedback from some contributors. So It's looking good.
And we were very, very early with informal language learning up here in the north and research on that, on extramural English and that type of learning. So we think there is a lot out there now on innovation that we are currently not aware of, and we want those contributions to our book.
Yes, and to add my own 2 cents, it's my aspiration that, like Pia said, that we can learn from some of the projects that might otherwise not come to light, and also be inspired by, the practical challenges that people have faced and how they've overcome them. And there's so much to learn from, not just traditional researchers and academic work, as important as that is, but also from practitioners. So yeah, I very much look forward to the project. For those of you watching, please do consider submitting something. If you're not 100% sure whether your idea might fit and you don't want to write up a whole proposal, feel free to email one of us and just send us your idea, and we can give you a little bit of feedback before you submit on the 28th of February. Looking forward to working with you all, and see you in the new year.